Okay, back to those 2 points about why is there nothing, not something, why is there nothing? That's the interesting question. And number two, what is the relationship, well, reality is constituted by being and nothing, and what is the relationship between being and nothing? Now, why is Sartre interested in the question, not why is there something rather than nothing, but why is there nothing? Because he thinks nothing is this realm of human freedom, right? And this realm where meaning takes place. If you remember back to Heidegger, right? Nothing is basically the difference between things, which gives things their identity and meaning. And the nothing in us is what makes us free. Because we are constituted by a lack, we're able to take a break with the mechanistic, deterministic chain that is in nature. This is why Sartre thinks nothing is more interesting than something, precisely because, I just realized you can see my bathroom back there. Human beings are these unique creatures. Just like Heidegger conceived of Dasein. Dasein is the only being that has its being to be. Our being is a problem, an issue, a question. Our being is to be, and it is a problem, an issue, and a question, precisely because we have this nothing, this lack within ourselves, such that it gives us the ability to transcend ourselves, right? We can go beyond myself and separate myself from myself and say, who is Duane Armitage? I can make a break within myself and say, who is Duane? Who am I? I can project myself to future possibilities. Also, I can pull away from the world, from the deterministic causes of the world. Everything in nature is determined by mechanistic causality, basically. Everything in nature is in a causal chain, except the human being. The human being can break away and break away from the dictates, the causal dictates of nature. And that's precisely because of the nothing that we ourselves are. So Sartre thinks nothing is the more interesting question because nothing is consciousness. Nothing is human consciousness, basically. Human beings are nothing. And he calls this nothing being for itself, to be contrasted with being in itself, which is something. Being for itself, the pour soi, he says in French, versus the en soi, nothing, something. Being for itself, being in itself, and their interrelation is what being and nothingness is all about. Being, something, and nothingness, and their interrelation. And this interrelation Sartre calls, well, he doesn't put it this way, but he calls it, Camus calls it, another French philosopher, calls it the absurd. The relationship between being and nothing is the absurd. Sartre says this relation makes us nauseous. When we're aware of the relationship between being and nothing, the relationship of the nothing that we ourselves are, in relation to the world and in relation to our body, because our body is something, but our consciousness is nothing. Okay, so let's come full circle again. Being and nothingness is about the relationship between being, something, en soi, and nothing, pour soi, the nothing that human consciousness is. And human consciousness is our freedom, basically. Nothing, consciousness, is our freedom, that we interact with the world and we secrete this nothing and this freedom and this meaning on the world. Okay,